Hello all, welcome back to the CD3 Automation Toolkit learning series. In this video, we will see how to add additional parameters when creating resources in the CD3 Excel template. So this is my Excel template. I'm trying to create an instance in OCI. These are the parameters you get for instance in the Excel templates by default. The template covers all the required and few optional parameters as well. I have added all the required details already. But if you need to add more parameters to define your resource, you can do that as well. You just have to add a new column with the new parameter. The parameter has to be supported by that particular Terraform resource. Let's go to the Terraform documentation. So OCI core instance is the resource type for OCI compute instance. You can see the example usage of this resource block here with all the required and optional parameters. Our CD3 Excel template covers all the required and most of the optional parameters as well. Let us say I want to preserve my instance boot volume even after the instance is terminated. Currently, I don't have the option to define this in the CD3 template by default, but Terraform allows to define this using the preserve boot volume parameter. You can find out more about the parameter here. If you do not specify this parameter, it will by default take it as false. Now I'll copy this parameter name, go back to the Excel template, and here as an extra column, I'll add this. I'll provide the value as true because I want to preserve my boot volume even after the termination of this instance. I'll save this file. Now we have to add this CD3 Excel file inside the CD3 container. I have already set up my toolkit container and connected it to the tenancy. You can follow previous videos in this playlist to complete these steps. Let me switch to my container now. So this is the CD3 container. I'll add my Excel file under CD3 user tenancies CD3 demo. So CD3 demo is the tenancy specific folder that got created when I executed tenancy config properties. You can see all the tenancy specific files that got generated from the previous steps. Now we have to add the CD3 Excel file inside the CD3 work VM container. I'm copying the file using a tool called CyberDuck. You can use any secure copy tools. To avoid any permission issues, instead of OPC, provide the username as CD3 user. This user is created when the work VM is launched using the resource manager stack. I'll select my SSH key to connect. So this is my CD3 work VM. Let us go to the CD3 user folder and mount path. So mount path is mapped to tenancies folder in the CD3 container. So this is my tenancies folder inside the container. I'll go into the CD3 underscore demo folder. I'll add my Excel file here. So the upload is complete. Now let us switch to the CD3 container terminal. So now that we have added our Excel file under the tenancy specific folder, we also need to add the Excel file path and the workflow type in setup OCI properties file. For that, I have to go to CD3 user tenancies, CD3 demo, which is the tenancy specific folder. And if you do an ls, you can find the Excel sheet that we just uploaded. So now we have to add the path of this Excel file inside the setup OCI properties. Let us do that now. So this is how the properties file looks after successful execution of previous steps, that is tenancy config creation. All these details are auto-populated from those steps. All we have to do is just add the path to the CD3 Excel file and then define the workflow type. So this is my Excel file path. And since we are going to create this instance, I'll leave the workflow type as create resources. I'll save this file. We have added a new column in the Excel file. So the next step is verify the instance.tf file inside the service out directory. Where to find it? So here under the tenancy specific folder, you can see a folder called Terraform files. Go into it. Here you can see folders for all your subscribed regions. Since I'm going to create my instance in London region, I'll go into London folder, and under each region folder, you have all these service directories. Since we opted for multiple out directory structure when creating tenancy configuration. I'll go into compute. So here you can see all the compute related Terraform files. Now our point of interest is the instance.tf, which has the instances module. So you can see all the parameters that Terraform supports are present here. All you have to check is if your parameter is commented or not. You can see that the preserve boot volume parameter is not commented. Also, there are a few commented ones as well. So just check before you proceed for next steps. So we are good with this file now. I'll come out of this. So now since we are already in this folder, I'll quickly show where I have added the SSH key and image OCID for this instance that I defined in the Excel template. Let me show that quickly in the Excel template first. So for source details, I have provided the image OCID in this format, image double colon and my image OCID. So this is the variable which will have the image OCID in the variables file. Similarly, this is the SSH public key and this variable contains the SSH public key to log into the instance. So both these variables will be present in the variables file. Currently, we are in the compute folder of London region. We have to add the variables in the variables_London file. Let me open that. So here under SSH keys, I have added my SSH public key. This is the variable we gave in the Excel sheet for SSH key. And if you scroll down, here is the section for image OCIDs. Under the variable instance source OCID, I added my image OCID. With the image OCID, I want to create my instance with. So I'll come out of this file. Next, we will check the corresponding Jinja template. For that, let me go to CD3 user, OCI tools, CD3 automation toolkit folder. You can see folders for different services. We'll go to the compute folder. Here, there's a templates folder, which contains the Jinja templates for compute. So the Jinja template is used to render the TF-WATS files. The setup OCI script reads value from Excel and populates in the Jinja template to create TF-WATS file. So we need to have our parameter there as well, since we added a new column in the Excel file. Let me open the instances template. So this is the template for TF-WATS that is going to be generated for compute instances. You can see all the Terraform supported parameters are already present here. You just have to uncomment which is required. So if you scroll down, so this is the beginning of the commented section. If you scroll down, you can see the preserve boot volume is present under the commented section. So all you have to do is place this outside this commented section. So the commented section is ended here, and I'm going to paste my preserve boot volume part here, so that even this parameter is rendered when the TF-WATS is generated. So that's all you have to do. Save this file. So with this step, we are all set to execute the setup OCI script. For that, we have to go to CD3 user, OCI tools, CD3 automation toolkit, where we have the setup OCI script. So let us execute it with the setup OCI properties file. We'll be provided with a set of options to create these resources. So here I'm selecting compute, then it's add, modify or delete instances. So it has processed the instance tab and then created a TF-WATS file for it. Let us check the TF-WATS file quickly. So we have to go into this location. So this is the TF-WATS file. Let me open it. So you can see the preserve boot volume parameter here. So now that we have the TF-WATS files and all the related Terraform files for instances, we have to do Terraform init, do a Terraform plan. So you can check the details of the instance that are going to be created. And our point of interest is this preserve boot volume is true. So we can go ahead with Terraform apply. So it's creating the instance in OCI tenancy. The apply is complete now. Let us go to the OCI console and check the instance. So this is the OCI console. If I go to the hamburger menu, compute, and then instances. So this is the compartment, and in London region, I have my VM up and running. So now to test our preserve boot volume parameter, I'm going back to the container and I'll execute Terraform destroy to terminate the instance. So it says want to destroy, I'll say yes. The destroy is complete now. We'll go back to the OCI console. So you can see the VM is terminated. If you scroll down and click on boot volume, you can see the boot volume is detached. But if you click on this, this is still available. So the boot volume is preserved even after the instance has been terminated, like how we configured it using CD3. So you can add extra Terraform supported attributes to any resource, not just instances, by just adding new columns in the Excel template and uncommenting the parameters in resource.tf file and Jinja templates. Hope you found this video useful. Let us know if you have any queries in the comment section. Stay tuned for more interesting videos. Thank you.